Hey, what's up guys? This is TBone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So today I wanted to talk about a relic that when used correctly can really make a big difference to your gameplay. Specifically, I'm talking about scepters here. Now, scepters are a evolved form of the 6-star cane, and once it becomes a scepter, then it will apply to affinity-based heroes, and in this case, a light scepter will target light heroes. And what it does is it will increase the recovery of all your applicable heroes by a certain amount, and that really makes a difference if you have heroes that take advantage of the recovery. And Electric Executrix is actually a perfect card for this event to take advantage of the Scepter because of her battle skill that will heal for 1000% heal recovery for 3 straight turns. Now I'm going to show you a couple of teams that take advantage of the Scepter and also uses Electric Executrix to really help with the fights. Now ideally for this to work well, you'll want to have 2 copies of Electric Executrix as well as 2 Light Scepters. I leveled them both up to level 30 and it really has made a difference. And we're going to take this team against the challenge level 5-4. For this particular setup, in addition to the 2 copies of the Electric Executrix, I did bring in also 1 copy of Janice and also 1 copy of Drosselmeyer. And of course, because I have Janice in the team, I also brought in the 3 Fates so that I can power it up. Now, the first 2 waves aren't going to be too difficult here, even though Hell here does cast Might. It doesn't actually deal as much damage here. For the first 2 waves, it's actually reasonable, but the last boss, the last wave, is where you're going to be dealt more damage. And you can see here, because of the heals, I actually never really go below my maximum. So I'm able to heal all the time, and the key here is you want to make sure that you're activating your copies of Electric Executrix every single time you can. So that's every 3 turns. And the only time that you'll want to skip it is when you're ready to activate Janice, and I will show you how that works. And so there's a couple of tricks here too. You can sort of decide what you want to do with the timing for when you activate your cards. Now with Drosselmeyer, you do need to make sure that you have 50 skill points available before you can activate it. And the order in which you want to actually activate them is going to be important. Now in this first wave, I didn't actually have to use the battle skills. And then for the second wave, up against Papa also, I decided to go ahead and use up both of the battle skills there. And at the same time, I made sure to also activate the battle skill for the 3 Fates because those 2 have the same timing for when they activate. So it's nice to just activate them at the same time. Now remember, the chevron is what you're looking for to know that you can activate Janice. Now we're into the 3rd and final wave of the boss. And this is where you need to make sure that your health is going to be consistently above at least half, because you will see how much damage the boss is actually going to be dealing, and that's why you want to make sure that you activate the battle skills there. As you can see, we actually do heal up quite a bit. And also because of the scepters that's in play, whenever you do a heart gem match, you will also heal by quite a bit there. And so you can see there, I actually did a heart gem match, and that will actually bring me up close to almost full health there, enough to at least take another hit until my chevron. Every time the chevron appears is also when Janice does a heal as well. So you're getting multiple heals from both Electric Executrix as well as from Janice there. And so I was able to get back to full health and then deal a full damage to take out the boss at the final level. Now this next team I'm showing you here isn't a team that I'm necessarily recommending that you use for any of the bosses, but I'm really just illustrating how the ability for Electric Executrix plus Light Scepters heal can actually allow you to 1-key legend bosses and you can survive for a very long time. So to illustrate that, I brought in a Primal Guardian and I also brought in the three Fates so that I could dispel Weaken. Now, typically when you're doing 1-key against a legend boss, health is going to be the problem. But as you can see here, I don't think I needed to even bring in 3 copies. I just needed to bring maybe 1 or 2. The trick here is the heal plus the Light Scepter is actually out healing the damage that the solo legend boss can deal. And so that allows me time to build up my intensity, the creature intensity. I'm only building 15 at a time, and I actually managed to get to 300 before I actually activate everything because I eventually ran out of time. Now, I wasn't trying to go for overkill, but I was able to deal enough damage to actually take out the boss. So I could have easily replaced one of the copies of Electric Executrix to another card to deal even more damage there. And so hopefully that illustrates just how useful the scepters can be, especially in different situations. So in this particular case, it gives you the heal and the survivability that's much needed against some of the really hard-hitting bosses. And because you're able to get the heal, you don't need to reserve that spot for a Generation 1 passive healer, so you can actually retain some damage as well. And we've seen in the past as well, for example, the Fire Fable team, where you can actually convert the recovery into damage. We haven't seen them since, but I'm hoping that we can see more of that in the future. Now, switching gears a little bit, what I wanted to show is a team that I'm using for ultra kill bosses. A lot of people often ask me what teams I am actually running, and so I thought I would show what I am playing with right here. Now, Drosselmeyer, I managed to pull 2 of those copies from rune pulls, and as you saw from the latest stream, I did get 2 copies of Janus from pack opening. And so altogether, I can actually get 24 Power Gen 4s on the board. So with this setup, I can actually easily get over 400 or 450 billion overkill. So I can get the full ultra kill bonus there. And finally, for this last deck, I just wanted to showcase a team that I thought about earlier before the video, and that takes advantage of the Hellboy team, which is an arcane killer type. And so this does help against some of the bosses, such as Jean Voodoo Queen here. And this, even though it's a Slayer deck, it takes advantage of the fact that Orsang and Hellboy BPRD agents are both Slayer/Commander cards. And so I'm able to get the Slayer bonus, but I also can get the Commander bonus applied to the entire team. And I use Gadget here, but if you have Oglyph, you can achieve the same effect as well. And so it's pretty straightforward here. I actually wait 3 turns for Orsang to spawn additional power gems, and then I activate Gadget, then 2 copies of Orsang, finally fill up the board with Hellboy. When I do the power gem match here, this is with a single key, I'm able to deal 70 billion damage across the whole team. Not quite enough for a full overkill, but I was able to deal significant damage there. And that is all for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for your time. Hopefully you're having a good time with the event, and hopefully this tip with the usage of the Light Scepter plus Electric Executrix will help you along with your journey as you go through your quests. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.